What a hit!
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of View from the Cop. I think you can tell we are freaking delighted right here after that fantastic result against PSG. It's me, Calvin, and look who's back from his illness. Reshlin is here as well. Say what's up, Resh.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so it's post-match analysis time. We are jumping out of our skin at the moment with Firmino's late goal and that fantastic result. We're 5-5 in the Premier League. We got a win against PSG in the opening game of the Champions League. Things are perfect for Liverpool fans at the moment. Any comments on that right now?
I'm still shook. Really, that game was an absolute roller coaster. I mean, we scored first, we scored second. They came back at 2-2, and at one point it seemed like the Liverpool
was
of
all
recent
over.
times,
Yeah,
all over again. And then Firmino, the winner at the end, was
phenomenal. All right, let's try and get our emotions in check and break this down a little bit. In terms of analysis for everyone. So let's start with the lineups. I think we expected the Henderson change after the fact that Keita at the weekend. The surprise was Firmino not fully fit to start, amazingly. But then coming on later on, so Sturridge started there. What are your thoughts on Liverpool's lineup?
Well, Kels, you know, before we kicked off, I was a bit apprehensive about Sturridge being selected ahead of Bobby. He isn't that natural player that leads the press for Liverpool. Firmino, Salah and Mane have been that organism, that front three that have pressed so well and worked together so well. So I was a bit apprehensive. I wasn't sure what to expect, but we did know that if Sturridge was given the opportunity.
So that's the conversation we had before the game, saying we know he's not going to do the Firmino job, but if he's presented with the right chance, he's going to work the goalkeeper at least.
He's always been a clean
And oh my word, did he do that. All right, let's get through the talking points of the actual game. No real talk about PSG's lineup. They played exactly what we expected. They were a little more apprehensive in attack. They weren't necessarily bombing forward. Neymar terrible in defense. We'll get through all of that. But let's start with the talking points of the game. So the first big one was, I think, the Neymar chance.
The Neymar opportunity.
And then Cavani also trying to follow up. Van Dijk with some good defending and Alisson with good goalkeeping.
He was in the right place at the right time there.
Yeah.
So that was a massive let-off at the start of the game. It would have changed the course of the game completely if we had to concede that first goal.
Absolutely. Big moment.
We wouldn't want to chase the game, so it's good that we got away with that one early on.
And I mean, the question has to be raised: would Mignolet or Karius have been as composed and as calm and as well positioned as Alisson in that position? So we may have paid that 67 or whatever it might be million, but now we can see why it's bearing fruit against people like Neymar, not panicking, standing up strong, getting the first save in. Yes, Van Dijk was there as well. Fantastic.
His positioning has been fantastic.
He
makes saves look easier than it should be because he works so well, knowing where the strikers are going to put the ball and moving his feet accordingly. So Alisson, good save early on.
Absolutely. So fantastic, and that was critical to Liverpool's success, not conceding that goal, not conceding the first goal in this game. All right, let's get to the really first big talking point of the game. Our fullbacks were absolutely fantastic today. Arnold and Robertson basically gave everything to Liverpool's attack today, and that's how we got the first goal in the end. Arnold with the first cross went over Mane. Robertson, without even taking a touch, delivers a striker's dream.
Absolutely, put it on an absolute plate for Sturridge. But you have to credit Sturridge as well for fantastic movement between the two centre backs. So he got in.
Yes, he did. He was behind Kimpembe at the start of the move, and in between the two centre backs.
And the ball was an absolute peach. So great first goal.
Fantastic first goal, and I don't think we expected that kind of goal from Liverpool, a cross and a header. That whooped-in cross and a striker's header. But we did say, like we said, if Sturridge got the chance, he would. And we got to see the Sturridge dance, which we all love as well. So an awesome start to the game.
Yeah.
Then the next big talking point, Gini Wijnaldum was also fantastic today.
Gini was great.
Somehow, a bit of scrappiness happening around the box, picks up the ball, basically draws the tackle and pushes it into space and wins the penalty.
It was an absolute stonewall penalty.
It was.
There's no one that can dispute that was a penalty. And amazingly slotted by Milner in that bottom right corner.
James Milner today for me was our man of the match. He was absolutely unbelievable. So composed. You basically, I mean, the goalkeeper could have been told, listen, I'm going to hit it bottom right or right for him, left for the goalkeeper. Bottom left. do your best, and it still wouldn't have been enough.
Kels, I'm just really happy that we have a designated penalty taker. We don't have that scrap in the box when there's a penalty to be taken. Milner is the man, and he's the man every time.
Fortunately, we also have Fabinho, who's an absolute beast at penalties, so we have a good backup as well in Fabinho. But Milner today, incredible. All right, so those were our 2 goals in the first half, and about 36 minutes in, we were looking fantastic. And then I don't really know how PSG carved out a chance. Some poor play. I think Henderson should have been better on Di Maria's cross. The cross wasn't. He could have blocked it, Henderson.
Yeah.
The cross wasn't great. Cavani was offside when he went for the ball, and somehow Mounier with his left foot slashed it past Robertson and into the corner. Alisson couldn't reach.
Well, there was a lot of things that went right for PSG for that goal.
Absolutely.
As you said, Cavani was offside, and Van Dijk couldn't make any movement to clear it because Cavani was going for it. And then it came off Robertson. It bounced kindly off Robertson, and Mounier just swung at it with his wrong foot.
With his wrong foot, absolutely.
And he went to the bottom corner. And I think Alisson was slightly unsighted probably at that point.
Yeah, I think Robertson was blocking him at the moment. So a lot of luck in PSG's goal, but credit to PSG for creating the chance and getting the goal. Even bigger credit to Liverpool for staying composed after conceding the goal, I think, because it could have been really tricky to see out that first half. But it didn't seem like that goal allowed PSG to suddenly control the rest of the half and bring the game to us and put us on the back foot and possibly get a second. Liverpool just seemed to go straight back to where they were when they were 2-0 up.
It was good. It was good of Liverpool to not crumble in that moment.
And that's not something Liverpool fans are used to. We're used to seeing the team struggle when we concede a goal, and now we backs against the wall in terms of that kind of position.
I feel like this season we've been able to watch football with a sense of ease,
with a lower heart rate.
With a lower heart rate,
absolutely. Which we don't mind at all. All right, so then was half time, and that was pretty much the first half. Second half, major talking point first up.
Well, the first one was the goal not given for Salah. So
Sturridge and Salah fumbled the ball in.
Yeah, so that was on the 55th minute when the ball was played in and Sturridge went in on the keeper. Was that a free kick for you?
Look, I did mention if that happened to Alisson in a game and the goal was given, I'd be super pissed off. Like if Mbappe hit Alisson like that and then Cavani stuck the ball into the net and Alisson's rolling on the floor and I watch that replay, I'm saying that's not a goal.
We've been wronged. Yeah.
So you know what? And this is not because we won. We spoke about it in that moment and said, listen, that's probably a free kick. There is the issue with the follow through and how referees are going to deal with that. It's a very difficult one. Very difficult. And if you ask Areola to try and make a save after getting a boot, impossible. So tough. And you know what? I think fair call at the end of the day. Unfortunate, but fair.
I mean, another ref would have given it, and I don't think we would have had too many complaints. But on the rest of the match, I don't think it's a lot lost there. So.
All right, so another big talking point, and I don't blame him this time because he did score when he got the first opportunity. Sturridge second header, which you would think a good striker would be putting those away, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He's barely played any football for that first team. He's barely played any competitive football. Slightly mistimed the header, came off his shoulder.
Well, yeah, that was a poor attempt, but credit again to Alexander-Arnold with the cross from the right. So he was a threat throughout the game.
Absolutely. Look, a lot of it revolved around the fact that Neymar did not care at all about trying to track Arnold. But that goes to show what a powerhouse Arnold is. You can't afford to give him that kind of space and time because he is going to create those real threatening opportunities for us to score.
And on the flip side, he was really exposed when PSG was on the attack.
This is true as well. So Neymar never really got at him. Di Maria never really got at him.
And he did manage to poke the ball away from him later in the match. There was a one tackle.
Yeah, Neymar running with the ball and Arnold with a perfect little flick away.
And he's 19.
Well. Absolutely brilliant from Arnold. So that was Sturridge's chance. The next big moment and a heartbreaking moment, I think the next one what's the Mane moment?
Well, there was the one from Mane where Salah received the ball out wide and then it was a little bit of an overhead, which was onside.
Oh yes, Mane was onside in a lot of people might have missed that whole move. Salah played a good ball to Mane, and it was called offside.
It was tight, but he was budgeting.
But he was onside. He was onside, and he could have made it 3-1 right there, and that could have really settled the game. Right, the next moment is the one I was referring to earlier, the heartbreaking moment. Our man from last season just hasn't seemed to click into gear, maybe trying too hard to replicate that form. Just seems to be struggling. We haven't really conceded a goal in a long time, as you said earlier, from an error like that in the midfield where we give the ball away really sloppily and it leads into a goal so quickly. Salah here with a really bad pass, and credit to PSG, Neymar and Mbappe for absolutely taking full advantage of such a small mistake.
Yeah, we were efficiently punished for that one mistake. I do feel for Salah a bit there, but it was a bit of a sloppy pass late on.
It was.
I don't think he's out of form.
Just trying to
I don't think it's time to bench him. I don't think fans should be on his back either.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't think we're anywhere close to saying Salah needs to be benched at this point.
I mean, if he doesn't start against Southampton on the weekend, I don't think it's a matter of form. I think it's just a matter of rotation. So we should see Salah back, and we should see him scoring.
I expect him to definitely see him against Chelsea in the Premier League.
Oh yeah.
Definitely against Napoli. Definitely, unless something goes horribly wrong for him in one of those games, I expect to see him all the way up until Man City as well. All right, so that was the big goal that PSG got back into it, and at that point, I think the moods across the Liverpool fan base all over the world would have sunk into sort of depression, and also the concern of what if PSG now go on and find that third goal, because we know what that attack is capable of. Neymar needs a small whiff of an opportunity to punish, even if he was quiet the whole game. But on came Mr. Eagle Eye, Mr. One Eye, Bobby Firmino.
One Eye Bobby.
And the biggest talking point of the match was his clinching, beautiful finish to win the game.
What a great finish and what a great celebration.
What a great celebration. Blocks the one eye and says, I don't even need that voice.
He doesn't. So, he made the space. He took Marquinhos out, his fellow Brazilian.
Yeah.
And he swung at it with his right foot and he put it in that corner.
Striker's finish. Striker's goal. Aguero does that. We're saying Aguero, amazing, you know.
And credit to Klopp for the substitution.
Absolutely. Did
he come on at 2-2 or did he come on
He came on at 2-1. He came on at 2-1. Yeah, he did come on at 2-1. Sturridge was tiring a bit, and I think he wanted to use Firmino in that counter-attacking role that Firmino's so good at. Turned out it wasn't that we needed him for, but for him to do a striker's job, create space and take the shot.
I think so, because at that point, if Matip came on instead of Firmino, we wouldn't have seen this. So.
Exactly. So credit to Klopp, not trying to close up the game at 2-1, replacing a striker with a fresh striker, and an opportunity presented itself and he managed to take it and created it himself, to be honest.
3 points.
All right, so that wraps up basically the match analysis and how there was no other major talking points, a few yellow cards, as you'd expect. No dirty sort of play. It was very clean.
Oh, I'm just looking at it now. Red Star Belgrade and Napoli drew 0-0.
So that's a big result for Liverpool as well, and PSG.
Yeah.
So a 0-0 there means they have 1 point each. That means 2 points dropped for Napoli if we look at the dynamics of the group.
And this is Napoli playing in Serbia, so it's a game that they should have won.
Absolutely. So interesting, and I think really good for Liverpool. A big positive. If they go away to Italy, to Naples, and they manage to come back with that result, that puts us in prime position to qualify probably top of the group. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
First game.
But fantastic start for us and the result in the group as well.
Yeah.
All right, that covers our match analysis moment by moment. Let's quickly run through the team and give our ratings of each player for Liverpool.
Sure.
Alisson, I'm thinking an 8. Did what he needed to do in the big moment. Took absolutely no risks.
Yeah.
I think there was one poor pass, but he managed to play it far enough into the midfield.
Yeah.
So he never really put us in any trouble. And he sort of, from the back, was composed and gave the defense a calmness about them as well in the stuff he did.
But we haven't seen any of those tetchy moments that we did in the first few games where he chose to do a Cruyff turn instead of a clearance. So I think that's been beaten out of his game a little bit.
Yeah.
He's been clearing when he needs to clear it, so good performance. He's done the right stuff.
All right, let's do both the fullbacks at the same time because Arnold probably edges it over Robertson in this particular game, but they were both fantastic, weren't they? I think 9s for both of them. They were absolutely brilliant going forward. They worked their socks off even in defense. They were never caught out of position. Their decision making, when to go forward, when to pass, when to defend, brilliant.
And they just looked tireless. I mean, Robertson was still pressing in the 90th minute.
Absolutely, and he played
still upfield
the entire Tottenham game as well, so he was fantastic. So 9s for the fullbacks.
180 minutes for Scotland as well.
And Scotland. So looks like he's quite the machine, actually. Someone who's
Absolutely.
going to last the distance, hopefully.
Right.
Centre backs, I thought they were also fantastic. They gave Cavani nothing. They gave Di Maria nothing. They gave Mbappe not much as well. I can't really fault them for the goals.
Neat job.
I thought it was the goal. Like we said, the first goal was lucky. The second goal, Salah sort of just put everyone in panic with a bad pass. I'm gonna say 8s, just because obviously they don't contribute to that attacking flow like the fullbacks do.
Yeah.
But defensively, they were brilliant, composed and calm.
Absolutely. Van Dijk's been there when he needs to be there, and I mean his work is almost going unnoticed. The little blocks that he makes, that
Absolutely.
saves goals,
The interceptions, the little blocks. He's quick to the ball. He's good with the pass. I think he's quite
and
fantastic.
Gomez was good today. I mean, he did have 1 or 2 loose passes.
Yeah, but overall, I think never got us in trouble.
Exactly, and he's bombing into midfield as well.
He drives. Henderson drops back. He drives into midfield. Absolutely.
So to credit to him, he's becoming a real ball-playing Rolls Royce of a centre back, I feel. Yeah.
All right, that wraps up the defense. In midfield, I think no doubts. James Milner, 10 out of 10, man of the match.
10 out of 10.
Absolutely untouchable once again this season. He ran his socks off. He took one touch and passed the ball on. He slotted home the penalty with absolute calmness. Man of the match, no questions. James Milner, 10 out of 10.
Guys, he had a big role in that last goal, Firmino's goal. He clipped it off, I think it was Mbappe who was trying to make the run out.
Yes. Yeah. He actually got an interception.
He created it, and I think he passed to Van Dijk, who created the chance.
Absolutely, yes. So Milner was outstanding throughout the whole game. No mistakes and just so good every time he was involved. 10 out of 10. Wijnaldum, also fantastic. Won the penalty, never lost possession, was very neat in midfield.
So
neat.
And he was everywhere.
Everywhere as well. A 9 out of 10 for Wijnaldum for a fantastic performance as well. Maybe even worthy of a 10 out of 10 in the fact that he won the penalty as well.
Yeah.
I think we're only giving him 9 because Milner was on another level basically on the day. Henderson, I thought he was... it's a hard one once again for me. I struggle with Henderson's role in the Liverpool team. He doesn't offer too much to the attack, and there's an argument to be made that's not his role.
Yeah.
Lots of times he doesn't offer himself to the centre backs for a pass.
I think in this
he did a good job.
He did a good job. In moments he did a good job, but Gini and Milner just looked to be at a different level to Hendo in this game. He was there when he needed to be in certain moments, but I think he could have done a little better in creating movement for passes.
Yeah.
And
that a navigator would offer you by just moving in the passing lines, basically.
Exactly.
All right, you might disagree with us here and let us know what you think about this one, because the fan base seems to be very split.
Oh, absolutely.
On Henderson. Some are right at the top, some are right at the bottom, and a lot of us are sort of hovering in the middle of, we don't really know yet. And that's the thing. Captaincy, we don't argue with.
I think Klopp has a bit of a conundrum there as well, especially with Naby Keita and Fabinho now. So,
So captaincy, we don't argue with. Absolutely, we know he's vocal, he's fantastic, he's a leader on the field. Just the actual footballing ability is where we question his role in the team at the time. So I think a 7 for Henderson.
I think a 7.
Again, he wasn't exceptional in defense or attack, but he did a good job captaining the team and making sure we got the result. I'm keen to push him to an 8 because he's captain and he takes quite a lot of responsibility for the result. And Liverpool did eventually win the game. So 7 or 8 for Henderson. Again, you guys can come and tell us. You can see we're undecided. Up front, let's start with the poorest performance. Mohamed Salah. Besides the error that led to the second goal, he never really created. So many passes came straight to his feet from Arnold, smashing passes from the right. He couldn't really get a good first touch and lay it off and move on. He just seemed to be nowhere close to Salah last season. Maybe harsh because we're judging him on the back of last season, but that's what we have to do as well.
We've been spoiled from Salah's performances last season, no doubt. And at this point, he just looks a little off the pace compared to Salah 2017, 2018.
Absolutely. So, look, we're going to give him a rough, maybe a harsh 4 out of 10 in that game. I think the mistake was the last straw. I think he was going to come off anyway because he just wasn't contributing enough to the game at all. So we're going to give him a 4 just because of that mistake at the end. He would have been a 5 or maybe a 6, but that mistake could have cost us those 2 points.
I mean, where we are at the moment, what is the time now? We don't need that spike in heart rate this late in the
Absolutely not. So. All right, Sadio Mane, again, tireless as hell. Played the entire game against Spurs. Tireless. played the entire game again today, tireless, full of running, full of that transition from defense to attack, giving the defense a chance to relax because he can run with the ball forward. Brilliant performance. I'm thinking 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, I feel he's deserved. He created a lot. I think on the back of the weekend's performance where he was criticized for maybe being a little bit selfish, there was a lot that he created this
and his decision making seemed to be on point in this game as well.
And you can never falter Manu's work rate.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So 8 out of 10 is well deserved for him.
Sturridge, I'm going to go 9.
For the
goal, absolutely 9, and his work rate was excellent. His also decision making was good. He dropped into a deeper role, tried to pick up the Firmino role. Yes, he doesn't press the ball out of possession as much, but with the ball, when Liverpool were in possession, I thought Sturridge was very effective in his movement, his passing, and his decision making.
And it was his first start in the Champions League.
Unbelievable.
So
unbelievable to think that Sturridge hasn't started in the Champions League for us.
He's been with us forever, and we really want to see him do well. So it would be fantastic if he can stay fit.
Yeah, so a 9 for Daniel Sturridge. Look, we're not going to rate Shaqiri. I think Bobby Firmino, also a cameo role, but critical. So I think I want to give him a 10, to be honest.
Yeah, he gets honorary 10.
He gets an honorary 10 because he basically got the goal that got us 3 points. Yes, he played a few minutes, but how crucial was he?
We love Bobby. I'll give him a 10 every game.
We'll give Bobby a 10 every game. All right. That wraps up our post-match analysis, our ratings. Let us know how you feel, guys. Do you think we're too generous with the scores or too harsh on certain players, Salah, Henderson specifically? What are your thoughts on this? What's your opinions? We want to know. We want to engage with you guys and just basically have a conversation around, does everyone see what we see? Or do you guys see something completely different? All right. That brings us to the end of the show. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at VFTCopL4. We're always tweeting during the game as well as when we post videos. And if you enjoy the content, leave a like, leave a comment. Let us know what we could do better as well. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Until the pre-match analysis against the Saints out on Thursday, that's been A View from the Cop.